It is finally time, boys, since Prydwen has updated their tier list and the review for Crust. So we're gonna be going a little bit over what's going on with the lolly, if she is good or not in their eyes, and what they are recommending to see if we agree or disagree. So as usual, hello the internet, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Thank you to all my patrons here in YouTube and on Coffee. You can join them with the links in the description down below. Let's get started with seeing what's going on with her review and the kit. I usually never read like the full reviews, I'm gonna be honest. I am too lazy. I appreciate like the effort they put into them, but I'm too lazy. Okay, I am a lazy beach gacha player. So we're gonna be going directly into the tier list and then the recommendations and the skills. I'm gonna be going into bossing. You all know this is the tier list I personally prefer since I feel it's more overall can be used for most content, of course with some changes, but it's the one I like personally. So we go into the bossing tier list, B2s, and where is the... Oh, okay, so season A tier. With Dala, Guilty, Leona, Marciana, and Rem. A for everything and C for PvP. I can see that, to me, A and S are basically interchangeable. They are the same thing. The only characters that I would say are stronger would be like Blanc and Mari. But then again, it's just like minor changes as usual. It's not that I like heavily disagree or it's like, oh, this is awful. No, it's like minor things up or down, right, as usual. So she's on A for everything and C for PvP. I thought she was gonna be used for PvP. I know nothing about PvP. You guys know this. Like, I don't care about PvP. But I thought she was gonna be better. Now, that's it. Let's talk a little bit about what they are recommending and what they are saying for the lolly, which, by the way, I finally got with the free multi we got in the event. I was able to get her. That means I can save resources for anniversary now and see what we're getting, Siren and something else, whatever it is. I'm also waiting to see what skins we are getting, scenes that might change if I buy pools or not. But we have no pools for anniversary, but we have the tickets. We should be safe on tickets. I don't think I'm gonna be MLBing anything until Stellar Blade. If Stellar Blade is good enough, I do want to MLB, if there is like enough fan service. If the Siren background is also good enough, I might, give in and actually MLB that, but we'll see. That said, let's go a little bit over the review and then the investment tips and see what they are recommending. So first of all, let's go into the Prost for the lolly and make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see this. Perfect. So, Prost, in burst and off burst flex support potential, especially when cleanse is needed. Semi-permanent attack buff available off burst. At will, dispel with only 10-second cooldown that can be triggered off burst. Decent attack damage buff with burst skill. Extreme distribute damage buff with burst skill. Hey, what is this, Prydwen? What is this? Who wrote this? Kissenix? A snake? What is this, you fuckers? And then escapes NPC yell into... Bro. NPC Gel, it's awful. We have so many good characters, and we get Crust. It's fucking over, bro. I agree with all of that. Honestly, like the only thing I mentioned on my review when I was talking about Crust is that one of the best things about her, in my opinion, is that she's pretty cheap to build as well, because her scaling on the skills is pretty bad, so you don't need to worry too much and you can just be doing 4-4-7 or 4-4-10 depending on what you want to be going for. That said, as for the pros, let's actually check also the cons and what they are saying about her. So first of all, requires manual play to trigger any of her modes at the beginning. Consequently, except for the 20% attack damage on burst skill, all her other skills are completely useless in PvP. Moreover, she still requires a lot of investment in all skills to compete with current meta tools. A 10-10-10 hair is by no means close to worth. I wouldn't even recommend in any situations, right, going for 10-10-10 on this character. If you like her, go for it, right? I'm not gonna be telling you what to do with your resources. But from the perspective of what is useful, going anything higher than like a 4-4-7 feels like a waste of resources as of right now, at least. No heals, which can be a problem specifically for a B2, which right now it's the spot where we have most of our healers, depending on your team composition, of course. A div buff is weak, it's kinda useless, I'm gonna be honest. There is like few characters who can take advantage of a defense buff. And then sustained damage buff is extremely poor. The sustained damage part was interesting to me because at level 10, right, we're talking about the 60% increase on distribute damage and just a 10% increase on sustained damage, I believe it is, right? Which is crazy. Like 10% sustained damage, and then we're talking like the biggest distribute damage buffer. And if you check Rosanna, for example, right, and we check this out, it's a 20% on sustain plus the 32 damage taken for all enemies, which is also really, really good. Like for sustained damage, Rosanna is better than Crust, which is surprising considering that they wanted to make her like this hybrid buffer or to be available for both things. So they have made two characters, both Breedy and Crust, that have the option to go sustain or distribute, but both sustain parts are awful and you have no reasons to be going that direction. So I don't know if they're planning on releasing yet another sustain character, either DPS or a B1 buffer with CDR would be, for example, nice. But I don't know what the plan is from Shift Up on that regard. I'm gonna be 100% honest on that. That said, enough ranting about Crust. Let's check the investment tips and what they are recommending. So they're recommending a 5-5-10 for endgame, which is interesting. Why the level 5? Is there something I missed on her breakpoints when it comes to her skills? I think 4-4-7 is like more than enough. I wouldn't even go past 7 on the burst to 10. Just because how expensive it is on books versus what you're getting back. It's worth if you are gonna be maining like a distribute damage team for wind or for water, which is what she can buff right now. But even then, it's way too expensive. And when it comes to the cubes, Resilience or Bastion, as usual, the basic beach recommendation that I also put everywhere, because let's be honest, they are the best cubes for a reason. And then they are recommending max ammo, elemental, and attack. I don't think elemental and attack is like passable. I would rather go charge speed as a passable stat rather than elemental and attack, because her buffs are not final attack, and it doesn't really matter what she's getting. Like, she's kind of like a really bad character to overload, but then again, it's like passable. It's not what they are recommending. So in my opinion, I would go max ammo and charge speed, and like they are saying, getting one line of max ammo is more than enough. I wouldn't even bother re-rolling her. Like, if you get lucky and you get one piece or two with the max ammo, I will settle for that, absolutely. I don't have Tetra supporter gear. Oh my god, guys. But probably soon I will have to start going for other bosses rather than Kraken. I am saving a lot of resources for the anniversary. All of the rocks I've been getting are going for that. All of the maintenance kits I've been getting are going for the half anniversary. I'm praying to the gods that we can get lucky with the rolls on Siren. That said though, about Crust, I do agree with what they're saying. I do agree with the recommendations on the investments and the review. The only thing I would change is the burst, because there is like almost no reason to go past level 7 on her burst skill. It's too expensive for what you're getting back, and also it really depends on if you have the distribute damage characters to take advantage of that or not. Because if you only have SBS, it's not even like a good recommendation with SBS. If you don't have Crust, if you don't have Breedy right now, it's not even worth going for the level 10. At least not yet. Maybe we will get more characters for that. We'll see. At least we are getting more distribute damage and sustain characters. It looks like Shift Up have forgotten about them for literally like a year, and now we're getting finally some usable units there. The next team I hope they finish after they give us a full sustain or distribute is going to be true damage. We still don't have like enough characters for that, and there's a few treasures that could actually work with true damage. That said, as usual, shout out to Prydwen. Love all the bosses there. We're gonna be live later if you guys wanna come by, say hello, and we're gonna be doing our dailies, and we're gonna be live on the 19th watching the NIKKE stream for the anniversary, for the half anniversary. All that japping, that's gonna be for this video. This is our last video on Crust. The milking stops here. I think 5-6 videos is enough. That said, as usual, love you all bossos. Good luck with your pool dinner rates. I'll see you in the next one.